Hi guys, Iron Cameraman is here. What if I told you that the secret agent lied to everyone, including the plunger himself? Because if you pay close attention to the last episodes and see what happened there, it becomes clear that the red cameraman was also involved in a secret mission, and a long time ago. But the last part of the 70 episode made a big noise, because there died Plunger and Dark Speaker Man. But as it turns out, they're not quite dead. In fact, we will see them again in the next episodes, and today I will prove it to you. And I'll tell you how everything I just told you is directly related to the Plunger murder. But before that, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss anything. Anyways, here we go. First, let's remember episode 65, where we saw how the Skibidi policeman did not kill the red cameraman, even though he had one shell with him. Then we did not understand why such a cruel Skibidi Toilet did not touch the red one. After all, we can remember the beginning of episode 67, where we can see that he spared no one and killed everyone. Given that the red cameraman had a connection with the secret agent, and he, in turn, had a connection with the scientist and communicated with him. So the scientist and the secret agent had an agreement in which it was written that Skibidi Toilets were not allowed to kill certain agents, including the red cameraman. In exchange for such terms, understandably, and the secret agent needed to offer the scientist something in return. Apparently this something was the books of TV men, which we saw in the laboratory Skibidi Toilets. And judging by the 55th episode, where we saw the teleport technology in the Skibidi Toilets for the very first time, it means that this treaty was signed from the 55th episode. And I'll tell you more. In this episode, you could see a secret agent and a red cameraman and an astro UFO. And this is another proof that the secret agent himself gave the teleport technology to the scientist in return for the conditions I told you about earlier. This is also indicated by the strange appearance of the red cameraman. Did you notice that until episode 55, we have seen him only 3 times in the show? In episode 39, and in episode 50. And look how many times he started appearing after episode 55. This is all because before that it was very dangerous to release the red cameraman into battle. The secret agent needed guarantees that he would not die. But was the secret mission he gave the red cameraman so important that he agreed to hand over the book to the TV men? As we understood from part 3 of episode 70, the secret mission was the murder of the scientist. So, in principle, it was worth it because the scientist is the brain of the whole army. And the war between the Alliance and the Skibidi Toilets is primarily a war of technologies, and now the one who was behind the progress of the Skibidi Toilets is no longer alive. And the progress of the Skibidi Toilets has stopped. And this will lead to serious problems for them. So I think G-Man will sooner or later resort to the help of Astro Toilets, whether he wants it or not. But let's get back to the topic of today's video. After all, why did the secret agent decide to kill the Plunger Man? In fact, the answer is very simple. Of all the agents who entered the laboratory, only he survived, and he is the only witness to the fact that the secret agent had contact with the scientist and even passed on technologies to him. Therefore, leaving him alive is very dangerous, but he definitely won't erase his memory, and the Plunger will appear in the series just like the red cameraman or the green twins. However, there is one big problem here. In order for us to see him, we need either to watch the series from his perspective or for another cameraman who also has a connection with the secret agent to look at him. Because ordinary agents, without the help of Deepak Boom, cannot see those who have already died physically. And that's why I rewatched the whole series in search of that very cameraman, from whose perspective we can again see the Plunger or other killed characters. My gaze immediately fell on Simp Cameraman. He appeared very little in the series, and after a very short time he disappeared. We saw him last in episode 57, where it is clear that he did not die but just got damaged. In principle, he can be placed in an exoskeleton, like that agent from episode 54. And yes, I haven't found any evidence that he is somehow connected to the secret agent. The only thing he was remembered by the viewers is that he liked TV Woman, because she saved him in episode 49. But in episode 57, she left him and saved the Plunger Man. But you might ask, if he doesn't have the ability to see the world through Boom's eyes, then what's the point of him, and why did I remember him? To begin with, look at these frames and how much TV Woman is grieving. So, what if Simp Cameraman finds out that Dark Speaker Man and Plunger Man died and wants to solve this mystery for the sake of his beloved girl? After all, from the reaction of the Titan Cameraman, we can understand that everything was fine with the Plunger and he began to sparkle very suddenly. And if he also learns that the Red Cameraman and some other agents had advantages in the form of protection from Skibidi Toilets, he will have even more motivation to solve the secret of Boom, which he hides so much from everyone. After all, he was damaged in the same battle where, among other things, the Red Cameraman was. The Red Cameraman himself, judging by these frames, did not know that the secret agent had given books to the scientist. By the way, a small remark. After episode 67, when the secret agent went directly against the scientist right into the laboratory, the guarantees of not killing the Red Cameraman were no longer valid, and therefore the Skibidi scout calmly killed him. Therefore, after everything that the Red Cameraman learned before and after his death, he will try to tell Simp Cameraman or another agent, so that they can tell the truth to the entire alliance. From the frames from the elevator, for a fraction of a second, you could notice the twins without the help of the secret agent, and this means that it is still possible to bypass the system. And if you find out how to do it, then the Red Cameraman and other ghosts will be able to get in touch together with living agents. One more proof that the Plunger Man and Dark Speaker Man will return to the series lies in the puzzle scene where the phrase, "This is the end for someone," was said. I mean, because of the word someone, we can understand that the end is for someone alone, not immediately for several characters. But of course, no one will be able to answer how exactly we will see the Plunger Man, but I tried to prove that sooner or later it will happen. So if you liked my theory, I advise you to watch my analysis of Part 3 of Episode 70, if you haven't seen it yet. Bye-bye.